Welcome to the regular Cicero Town Board meeting, Wednesday, February 28th, 2024 at 6:30 PM. If you would, please silence your cell phones, and please note there are two emergency exits in the rear of the room and one to my right. If you would, please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing and remember those who are serving in harm's way. Thank you. Before we start, number 10 was removed from the agenda. And if there's anyone who would like to speak on behalf of any of the agenda items prior to the meeting, you can at this time. Okay, we'll move on. Number 3. Counselor Bacall.
Yep. Approve and accept abstracts. Move for the adoption of resolution to approve, accept abstract number 8 dated 02-21-2024 and abstract number 9 dated 02-29-2024.
Second.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Wish to vote no or abstain, passed.
Move for adoption of resolution to approve and accept budget modifications and transfers as presented.
Second.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone wish to vote no or abstain, passed. The police department is in need of a full-time police officer, and Mr. Figueroa Rosado passed a thorough background investigation, civil service requirements, and was recommended for hire by the chief of police. Move for the adoption resolution to approve the hiring of Luis A. Figueroa Rosado as a full-time police officer at a starting pay rate of $57,902 per year, effective March 11, 2024. Budget code 002-3120-0100-0000.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Vote no or abstain, passed. Police department is in need of a full-time police officer. Miss Ray Brigman passed a thorough background investigation, civil service requirements. It was recommended for hire by the chief of police. Move for the adoption resolution to approve the hiring of Austin M. Ray Brigman as full-time Cicero police officer at a starting pay rate of $57,902 per year, effective March 3rd, 2024. Budget code 002-3120-0100-0000.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone wish to vote no or abstain? Passed.
Shall we all go down?
All right. Austin and Lewis, want to raise your right hand for me? Me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York. All the laws of the state and locality authority hold on. All laws of the state and local authority and established practices of the town of Cicero Police Department. I will faithfully discharge the duties of police officer for the town of Cicero Police Department according to the best of my ability and with the highest level of integrity. Congratulations. Who's got the badges here real quick? We'll start with Officer Ray Brigman. Who's the little one with the badge? All right, cool. orders for signatures, and we'll start lining everybody else up. Wait, where you going? Congratulations.
You want to go for the
Nice to want to.
All right, Timmy first. Why don't we?
All right, congratulations. Very nice.
I already did. Okay, good. He didn't tell me that.
Okay, that was exciting. Um, Before we start this, I'd like to introduce a few people here tonight. We have Town of Clay Supervisor Damian Ulatowski, Kevin Rode from Lysander. And we have our County Legislator, Tim Burtis. Thank you. So the purpose of this, these changes is to create a new zoning district for the large multifamily development and to modify existing zoning districts as necessary. At this time, I wish to waive the reading of the legal notices that were posted and advertised at the proper time.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. I'll open the public hearing at, what is it, Mike, 6:40?
Yep.
6:40 PM. Anyone like to speak? No? Okay. I have a couple of remarks here tonight. Okay. So obviously, we're here because OSIDA decided they wanted to pass legislation to give certain apartment complexes tax incentives to build in the town of Cicero. I have Karen here tonight. She's our assessor. She put together a scale for us. And just want to go over what the implications are for I'd say a 300 unit building, and assessed at 70,000. Karen, correct me if I'm wrong, $70,000 per unit, and 300 units would equal 21 million. Is that correct? Okay. And as you see, for the 15% incentive with the school district here, you'll see that for the first 3 years, it's 100% exemption. That is a $539,000 loss for 3 years, and then so on and so forth. And the town would lose $112,000 for the next 3 years, so on and so forth, all the way to the end. In the end of this pilot, the school district would lose $4 million. And the town would lose essentially $849,000. If we had 3 of these in the town, that would be $12 million the school district loses. And $2.4 million, I believe, my math's right, around there, that the town will lose in the next 12 years. Is this correct, Karen? From what we're looking at the scale here? Okay. The question is I think Councilor Carp's going to go into detail about, especially the school districts, and I'm kind of surprised they're not here tonight, but losing that kind of money is a lot of money for us to burden our own taxpayers on. I think that what we're doing tonight, talking about this tonight with the public, we'd like to hear your comments, and then we'll go from there. Go ahead, John.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. So as we've discussed and as was printed in the Syracuse.com article, this is legislation that is going to, I think it's really kind of a comprehensive reform as pertains to multifamily development in the town of Cicero. We have never treated apartment buildings and apartment complexes differently. We just had multifamily. And since I've been on the board, and I came on in January of 2016, I think it's fair to say that apartment complexes have been a pretty contentious issue in the town of Cicero. So we all are all aware that there is a housing crisis in the country. We are all aware of the fact that there is a need for housing and that we are expecting a large influx of workers, both to construct Micron and also to work at Micron. And so with that in mind, we have a lot of concerns here in Cicero about what, if multifamily is built, what it's going to look like and where it's going to go, how it's going to be built, how it's going to be paid for, as the supervisor said. And so really what this is about making sure that we, the town board, in conjunction with the planning board, have control over these developments, over what they look like, where they go, et cetera. So the main thrust of this is that any apartment complex, which is defined as 2 or more apartment buildings, or an apartment building also with more than 4 units, is going to require a special use permit. And the special use permit is going to require us to look at several things, including the size, the scale, and the density of this, and the impact it's going to have on nearby properties. Because I think that is something that in the past, prior planning boards, not this planning board, or this planning board chair may not have considered adequately. Also, the aesthetic and architectural characteristics of the property, because as I mentioned at the last meeting, if we are going to allow these to be built, and if there are going to be pilots, and I'll get to that in a minute, we want to make sure that these are high quality and that once property taxes are fully assessed on them, that they're going to be paying the taxes at a higher rate. And these are going to be developments in terms of green space and layout and setbacks that are going to fit the town of Cicero, and they're going to be pleasing to look at for a long time. We don't want ordinary development in Cicero, because Cicero is not an ordinary town. Cicero is an extraordinary town. That's why we all live here. And we are going to be considering the impact on town resources and infrastructure and how the tax revenue is going to offset that. And there are other criteria, and there's also a criteria that allows us to consider anything that we deem to be appropriate. And we are going to be able to hire experts, as will the planning board, for the site plan approval process to look at fiscal analysis, independent traffic studies, et cetera. And those are going to be fully chargeable to the developer. So it's not that we are opposed to development in Cicero. It's not that we're opposed to progress in Cicero. And I think I speak for all of us when we say that we are appreciative of the efforts made by the county executive to bring Micron to Syracuse, to the Syracuse area. That having been said, this is about us making sure that we have good, well-coordinated, well-planned, high-quality, sustainable growth in Cicero that will serve the residents that we have now and also the residents that we have in the future. So that is the goal of this legislation. And it's been available on the website. I know the board has looked at it. Everyone's been pretty pleased with it. And I've gone over it with our codes committee. And we will not be able to vote on this tonight because General Municipal Law, Section 239M requires us to refer it to county planning and wait for their comment. They don't have a meeting. They only have one meeting this month. We cannot vote until that occurs, and their next meeting is on March 6th, though I anticipate we will be able to vote on this legislation at the first meeting in March, which is March 13th. And with that, that's all the comments I have on it.
Anybody else? No? Anyone from the public like to come up and speak?
That's the 7169 Island Road. I just like each and every one of you to know that I'm totally against these tax breaks or any of these type of development.
The mic.
How's that? I just want to make sure that everybody on the town board understands that I am totally against these tax breaks. We continue to give away all these funds, as John mentioned, our taxes are going to double or possibly triple. You know, and how long are the seniors or anybody else who lives in this town, we won't be able to afford to live here. You know, if the intent of the Onondaga County legislature is to drive us all out of here so they can gobble up our property by realtors and sell it at a profit. That's horrible that I even have to say that. But you see it every day with these realtors knocking on your door, sending you letters. It's like it's a big land grab. You know, and I don't want to see it happen. It's unfortunate. I'm only one person. Can I stop it by myself? No. It's up to you guys up there. You can either be a politician or be a public servant. And if you're a politician, you're going to only vote for your own self-serving interest. You want to represent us? Be a public servant. Thank you.
Thank you.
May I approach for a moment? Yeah, so Judy Boyke, 6303 Muskrat Bay Road. First of all, I am against any tax exemptions. And I've been a realtor for 30 years. I don't send out letters. I don't knock on doors. I work for sellers and buyers on a one-to-one basis. So, and I appreciate what Jed is saying because I see it in my business all the time. But I'm not commission-driven. I'm people-driven. So with that said, I have a few notes and I hope I'll take my as quick as possible. I said it's unfortunate that all of the time, the town of Cicero and surrounding towns have been dealing with major issues in drainage, traffic reaching its breaking point, lack of affordable housing, mainly for our aging population, flooding, no sewers in some areas, and the deterioration of our highways. It is amazing now that all of a sudden the word micron appears in the headlines, and now who is the important one? It's not the residents. The taxpayers in these towns have dealt with the inconveniences, asked for continually for improvements, and have had the patience and the understanding that it takes a lot of money and they eventually will end up being paid for it. Now, there seems to be not enough housing. Our infrastructure can't accommodate the traffic, not enough water, not enough sewer capacity, not enough people to build a plant, and anything else that's lacking to bring this fab plant here. I think that the cart has been put before the horse. Anyone knows you do your due diligence before you do anything. You make sure that everything is in order, particularly if you buy a house. Why would you buy a house and they say, oh, geez, I didn't realize it didn't have any windows? I mean, that's just ridiculous, but that's the way it is. So the example of a perfect resident who bought a home right next to the Liverpool golf course. He bought it while the golf course was there. Now Amazon is there. I don't know if any of you saw it in the paper, but this guy has a lake in his backyard now. There's a perfect example of what happens when you destroy natural drainage. You bring pavement and you have roof runoff. That water's got to go someplace, and people don't realize how much water runs under the ground. So perfect example, we had that happen when they built Los Oak apartments. We've had people that were flooded out, and that's just the beginning. The focal point is on the land, housing development, the employment, to name just a few impacts, that there's thousands of surrounding residents that are going to be impacted by all this. But there's a rude awakening. The destroying of many acres of land, compiling mostly of wooded or the major portion of wetlands, Micron will be putting several animals, birds, out of their home, and they were really there first. When the deer, the fox, the skunk, rabbits, squirrels, chipmunks, and most of all, the endangered bats. And I know everybody thinks that's funny. Well, it isn't, because bats eat 1,000 more mosquitoes a night. Just think if we didn't have any bats. We got enough mosquitoes right now. So anyway, the greatest part of this whole thing is Micron has to provide a habitat for these bats because they're an endangered species. So they'll wait till winter because the bats hibernate, they go away. When they come back in the spring, their home is gone. Where are they going to go? They're going to go in your house. They're going to find a crack. They're going to go in your house. I live on the lake. I can speak from experience. I'm not kidding you. It happens. With all that said, I'm fully in favor of the law. I am totally against any exemptions because people who own land want to do something with their own land, including wetlands. You can't do anything with it, but you pay taxes on it. Why does a corporation allowed, because they got a lot of money, to mitigate the wetlands, move the bats, or whatever it is that they want to do. It's not right. Mr. McMahon made a statement that was posted in the paper some while back about if all of these retirees or older people would sell their house and move into an apartment, then these Micron people could buy them. Well, I took offense to that, and I'm sure many others did. So a few people have contacted me, which is kind of funny. And they said the sellers should get together and have a plan, that they would put all their homes on the market at the same time, tell Micron they're available, and take their $1 million that he paid several of other people to get the land. Then Micron would own them. Then they wouldn't pay any taxes for at least 3 years, maybe 10, maybe 15 years. What's going to happen to the towns if people move out and exemptions come in? Thank you, and I know that you guys are going to do the right thing. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Judy. Anyone else? Come on up.
Tim Burgess, 9444 Hawkeye Drive in wonderful Brewerton, Chairman of the Legislature. I didn't plan to speak, Mr. Supervisor. But I feel that as a legislator should. Let's just straighten a few things. OSIDA is not working under the direction of the Onondaga County Legislature. It is its own form, it's its own board, and it's there for one sole purpose, and that's for business development. I don't want to spend a lot of time here talking. I've got a lot of information, and I don't disagree with what you have on the screen. Don't disagree. There was an apartment complex here that was proposed that we all remember. Those folks wanted me to endorse them for a pilot. During the time, it was a lumber crisis. And they thought that I would, even though I never said that I would. And some of the facts that I think we should understand here at a macro level is this. I think we're caught in a moment of time. We are here prior to Micron. The question that I had to answer to myself is this: do I want Micron to come here? Do I really want them to come here? As a resident, I think the answer is yes. As a legislator, I'm partially yes, partially no. And I think you understand the reasons why. Micron is going to present and is presenting many, many challenges. What we're talking about here in this community and all surrounding communities, counties even, is the word change. I'm an upstate New York boy, born and bred, and we are not good with change. But this moment is here, and as a public official, I cannot walk away from Micron, and I've decided that I would support it. And I was greatly encouraged by it. It's caused me a lot of challenges as a public official, and each one of you know some of those pieces. But I'd want to say, I think what OSIDA has proposed is premature, as Judy had referred to. What we're trying to do here is motivate builders. I reject the idea that I'm going to leave my house. I'm not selling my house, and I don't suggest that anybody else has to sell their house either. This is America. We're free. You can do as you want. Many of my older, just a little bit older than me, friends have decided to sell their house and yes, move into an apartment and spend part-time here and part-time in a southern place. But we have housing values that are very, very high. And never in my wildest dreams would I have thought that my house is potentially worth what it is. So that's a component here, right? Housing values are high, inflation is high. We have a housing crisis, they tell us. As the chairman of the legislature, I have a housing study coming soon, which will tell me, I hope, the truth of what we think. Back to my point, though, I think we're caught in a moment of time of which one comes first, the housing or the Micron. We have shoes to drop. I've been told that Micron is going to announce. I told you, Mr. Supervisor, it's just a matter of when is politically expedient for the politicians. That's not you and me. So, you know, all I'm here to say is that this is a challenging time. And yeah, we have bats to worry about. We have a lot of things to worry about, and we all know them well. And we have infrastructure, serious infrastructure challenges. The question is, are we going to meet them? Are we going to meet the challenges? Are we going to dig in? Are we going to do the work? And that's me. I've had to agree with myself to do the hard work and then to let time help us to get some clarity as we go. And, you know, what is it going to look like? We've all seen the plans. We've seen everything. I think we all understand well what is in front of us. And of course, it's going to be a challenge, and it's going to be a moment of great change. And of course, many of our residents, me included, not going to enjoy it. Change is painful. And I'm not suggesting that anybody leaves this community. I serve the residents of Onondaga County and the town of Cicero. So as far as what is right or wrong, you know, obviously we're going to do the best that we can, each one of us. I believe that. But I think we would, at least me, I would ask for grace as we move forward, because as you well know, if you've sat there for long enough, you know, we make the best decisions that we can with the information that we've been given at the moment in time that we have it. Of course, we have our ideas about things. So for sure, to be sure, what is in front of me on the screen is a challenge. I opposed that pilot at that apartment complex. They went on and built it. And there's many caveats to that. Rents are higher. There are challenges there, drainage challenges. But let's not forget, we live in a very drainage challenged area, and we have lots of problems there. So I get to just finish a few of my comments, and I'll think of the good ones when I sit down. It's a moment. I think this is premature. I've gotten lots of information. I did meet with Pat Hogan, chairman of OSIDA, gave him my thoughts before the meeting. I challenged whether this one in particular needed to be 12 years. Myself and other legislators, again, who are just legislators, we talked about, you know, definitely against 100, 100, 100. I'm also definitely against 12 years. But what we were trying to do is just to get that to change. Now, the school district is a huge challenge, but we're going to need answers for that. And again, what I'm saying is we have challenges and a serious moment of change. We have a moment in time here that I think OSIDA is premature in producing this, but I'll leave it there. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Burtis.
A little premature and possibly illegal. That's all I'm going to say. I said they were a little premature and possibly illegal. Thank you. Come on up.
I'll be quick. Mike DeVero, 6032 Sneller Road, Brewerton. I just want to thank you guys for getting in front of this. I think it's the right thing. Judy said it, it's diligence. You're going to have control to do the diligence on these projects. It's so that they do fit what our plan is, our comprehensive plan. So I think it's fantastic that you guys are in front of this. The other thing that I'd like to point out with OSIDA that, most people probably don't know, but there's a huge conflict there. OSIDA gets millions of dollars in fees, and that money sits with OSIDA. So the more projects, the more money, the fatter they get. I mean, it's a huge conflict. Anyway, there's many more conflicts with our government, but again, thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank
Mike.
you.
Anyone else? Okay. Nobody else? With that being said, we're going to leave the meeting open. Set it for March 13th at 6:30 PM.
We're adjourning it, correct?
We're adjourning the meeting.
We discussed it prior to the meeting and I think we'll adjourn it.
Yep. Thank you, everyone. Public hearing. We're gonna have another public hearing to consider the acceptance of the petition plan and contract drawings for Pastures Sewer District Contract number 6. At this time, I wish to waive the reading of legal notices that were posted and advertised at the proper times.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
This time I'll open the public hearing at 7:06. Thank you, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody like to speak? Kate, you want to speak? No? This is pretty cut and dry. Okay. Anybody else like to come up and speak on behalf or against? No? Close the meeting at 7:06. Can I get a second on that? No? We're closing the public hearing at 7:06. Okay. Move repeat the seeker. Okay. Move for the adoption resolution declaring the constitution or the construction of the sewer infrastructure for the Pastures Sewer District number 6 as an unlisted action for the purposes of seeker compliance. A short form environmental assessment form have been prepared by the engineer for the project, and proposed action will not have any negative impact on the environment. According to the proposed action, it does not require a preparation of a draft environmental impact statement of any other statement as adopted.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Any wish to vote no or abstain? Passed. Discussion to approve the petition plan and contract drawings for Pastures contract number 6. Move for the adoption resolution approve sewer petition plan and contract drawings titled Pastures Sewer District contract number 6 associated with the proposed dental office on South Bay Road dated October 23rd as prepared by LJR Engineering PC.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Vote no or abstain. Passed. The next public hearing would be consider the acceptance of the water petition plan titled Island Road Water District Expansion number 1. This time, again, I'd like to waive the reading of the legal notices that were posted and advertised at the proper time.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, open the public hearing at 7:09,
7:08.
7:08. Thank you.
I got the.
You got it. Anybody like to speak on behalf or against this? Kate, self-explanatory. Okay. Close the public hearing. Nobody wishes to speak at 7:08. Thank you. Okay. Move for the adoption resolution declaring the town's action to establish the Island Road Water District expansion number 1 as an unlisted action for the purpose of seeker compliance. The proposed action will not have a negative impact on the environment. According to the proposed, it does not require a preparation of a draft environmental impact statement or any statement as adopted.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Vote no or abstain. Passed. Move for the adoption resolution to approve the formation of the Island Road Water District expansion number 1 as shown in the water petition plan dated February 7th, 2024 as prepared by Iannuzzi and Roman Land Surveying PC.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Vote no or abstain. Passed.
Approve change order for Route 11 streetscapes construction. Move the adoption of resolution to approve change order number 1 for the US Route 11 streetscape improvement to Barrett Paving Materials, Inc. for $17,422.46 to approve the supervisor to sign all related documents.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Vote no or abstain, passed. 10.
Move the adoption.
Oh,
10's removed,
11.
right?
We removed 10, yes, 11.
Excuse me, move the adoption resolution demonstrate town board support for a fiscal year 2025 community project funding application for $1 million to assist with the reestablishment of the centerline channel of Mud Creek and the associated sediment removal. This grant request is facilitated by the office of Congressman Brandon Williams.
Second.
Discussion. Kate, you want us to speak a little bit? We met with Brandon Williams the other day, Kate, myself, and the chief and his staff.
Yeah. So
Brandon
thi-
Williams' staff, I'm sorry.
yes, this is just another opportunity where we always go for money when we can. We have a huge problem with Mud Creek. It's going to be really expensive and we're hoping that we get a little money and we can try to tackle some of it. So that's what it's for.
Great,
Yeah.
thanks. Any more?
Yeah, I know we talked about this at our drainage committee meeting. This is awesome. I appreciate the supervisor moving forward with this. Again, Kate, let me know. I think this is 1,000 homes around that, but this would affect small, again, probably, I don't know, from not that much, but.
I don't know offhand. That seems high for, I'm counting the people who directly back up to the wetland
Right.
are the people
I
that.
count the people further on, but it's fine.
And one more point, if I can make, we're going to be soliciting for letters of support. So this application requires at least 10 letters of support. So our legislator, we're going to be asking him for a letter of support. And, so the supervisor is going to ask some dignitaries and then we're going to reach out to the people and we're going to, hopefully we've got Dewey, who I think will give us a letter of support. So that's what we're doing. It's a huge problem and we're going to just try to tackle it in increments. And the more money we have, the more successful we can be.
And we're also in the process of speaking with, and we met with what's his name, gentleman the other day?
Oh, Ray Willis.
Okay, so Ray is and
He's a contractor who's done this kind of work.
we're gonna see if we can get a bid for from LaFleur, it's not LaFleur anymore.
Yeah, no, it is. We're still trying to work out the details. Actually, two guys from the highway department are taking Mr. Willis out on Tuesday, south of Codnoy Road to the town of Clay border
Mike is
to
gonna go?
check things out. And then he's going to give us, he's just actually being just a really kind person helping us out. We may not be able to give him any business out of this at all, but anyways, he's just experienced. And when he went around to see everything with us last week, he was overwhelmed with how big of a problem we have. So.
I just did, not to jump in again, Mr. Supervisor.
All right,
just-
no problem.
It means a lot to me. I know I've bothered our county legislator many times with this topic. I know we tried for the grant and we're not giving up on this. And this is to me, one of the drainage, right? And I know it's been brought up multiple times this evening and this is, again, the first board that has, again, we fought the last one, right?
Yep.
Over in Hiller Heights. And this is just the next one. This one to me, if we can get this, huge, right? Real big deal. So I'm excited. So hopefully our dignitaries come through. So.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Vote no or abstain, passed.
Move the adoption resolution to hire Andrew Johnson as additional recreation leader, assistant basketball coach to start on or about February 29th, 2024 at a pay rate of $25 per hour.
Second.
Discussion?
Yeah, I actually had the opportunity a couple of weeks ago to go watch, Coach Jones with the Shooting Stars. Awesome program. It was fantastic. They let me pass the ball to some kids, get some rebounds.
Is he
my
part of this?
boots.
Is he
Yeah.
part of this?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. It's just a fantastic program. I hope more of our youth get involved.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Vote no or abstain, passed.
Move the adoption resolution to amend the expiration date to December 31st, 2024 for the reappointment of Karen Purdy, as Board of Ethics Chair.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Vote no or abstain, passed.
Move for the adoption of a resolution to approve the order of a 2025 Mack truck with plow sander equipment from Conway Beam Truck Group, Inc. in the amount of $317,187,000.80. Budget code 003-5142-0226-0000.
Second.
Discussion? Chris, is this on, will this be on, how long will this take to get?
The truck will be here early fall,
Okay,
and then the plow equipment
by next winter.
by next.
Okay, thanks.
It's always a year out, it seems, right? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
The quickest one.
Okay.
Move them out till 26.
All in favor?
Aye.
Vote no or abstain, passed.
Move for the adoption of a resolution to approve a 2-month sweeper rental from CNS Sweeping in the amount of $17,000. Budget code 003-5140-4400-0000.
Second.
Discussion. This is county bid, right, Chris? Thank you. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Vote no or abstain, passed.
Move for the adoption of a resolution to approve AAA Quick Plows and Lawns as lowest bidder to maintain the highway property seasonal price of $5,883.36. Budget code 003-5132-4000-000. They were the sole bidder.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Vote no or abstain, passed. Okay, go ahead, Mike.
Move for the adoption of a resolution to approve the renewal of the intermunicipal agreement between BOCES and the town of Cicero for technology services from March 1st, 2024 to February 28th, 2025 at a monthly cost of $650 for services that include but are not limited to data backups, VPN, switching services, server updates, maintenance, and help desk support. Hourly service billed in quarter-hour increments for desktop computers, $85, server support, $110, and network support, $135 as needed. Budget code 001-1680-4120-0000.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Wish to vote no?
I'm going to abstain.
Anybody wish to abstain? Okay. Thank you. Discussion? Anybody got into discussion? No? No? Anybody like to come up from the public and speak? If not, we'll close the meeting. Make a motion. Oh, Chris. Oh, go ahead.
I spoke to you earlier. The town has a
Chris, can you use?
metal pile.
Come on up, Chris, or use your mic. Use your mic right there.
Metal pile that the residents are. The town has a metal pile that has that the town residents come and dump off scrap metal. Every year, we're throwing away hundreds of really nice bicycles that we could be donating to the Jan Maloff project for his free bicycles at Christmas time. I'm wondering if the town board has an objection to me pulling these bicycles out and giving Mr. Maloff a call and donating these bicycles. I hate to see them just going for scrap when these could be used for underprivileged kids or.
I think, Chris, earlier we spoke and possibly we could put up an area where we could say bikes donated in a certain area. And obviously if there's in the pile, they can go in there. Is that something the board would entertain? I think Robert said it was okay if we did that.
Do we need a resolution?
Yeah,
to-
we'll need a
I
resolution.
told Mike
Yeah.
we would do a resolution to allow it and also to lay it all out, but we should write it all out so that
Yeah, before we do it.
you can put up signs and so on.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Can I? And I'll
Sure,
come
go ahead,
too.
Teresa. I'm sorry.
I just wanted to promote a couple upcoming events that we have going on. We have a spaghetti dinner at the senior center scheduled for Saturday evening, March 9th. We have pre-sale tickets or you can purchase tickets at the door. And this is a fundraiser for the canteen. And then we also have a pancake breakfast, a bunny breakfast scheduled to happen at the Applebee's in North Syracuse on Palm Sunday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. You can't get tickets at the door. They're only pre-sale. And I have some, be happy to sell them to you and hope you will support it. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
Just wanted to say that several people have come to me and complimented Karen and her staff. Some of them have not ever had to go figure out their new exemptions and all of that, and a couple of them who had deceased spouses. So Karen and her staff were above and beyond, and high compliments to her and her staff. Thank you.
Yes, I'd also like to thank Karen and her staff, working diligently with, the seniors every day. They're lined up down the hallway. I have some opportunities to speak with some of them. It was great. So thank you very much. Anybody else? Nope, make a motion to.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.